Dr. Ruth Anderson here with another session for our Day of Transformation. I am so pleased to have Susan Ellis Saller out of Austria with us here. And Susan is an expat, actually, who is, that's a US expat, I should say, because we've got folks listening from all over, living in Austria, and she is, as she said, one of the only native English-speaking tarot readers and English-speaking Reiki Masters in Vienna. So how interesting. But you're also, besides being a light worker in that way, you are supporting spiritual entrepreneurs in developing their own businesses. So another time we're going to hear a little bit more about that. But today we are just going to enjoy the meditation that you've got for us for today.
Well, thank you for the beautiful introduction, Ruth, and thank you for inviting me here to be with you. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I feel like right now is such a wonderful time for us to really examine our centers and get really reconnected with who we are, what our ideas and visions are, and how we can bring those visions into the future in order to create a new, better, more peaceful, more flowing existence that's based on these ideas that are more aligned with the lighter side of spirituality. So being more generous, being more in tune with your center, taking the time to breathe and to listen to yourself and to make sure that your actions and reactions are actually in line with what you really truly want to see. And that's put me back in a space where, divine flow is kind of the overall theme of what I wanted to talk about today. And it's not a new term, it's something that Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks use often. But really, what we're going through right now has given us this space in the world to kind of reconnect with our own divine flow and rethink the way that we're living according to our own priorities and the way we want to see things. And so every morning when I wake up, I take a big breath. That's the first thing I do, because breath is something that's sacred. It's giving ourselves energy. It's intaking universal power and breathing life into our cells and into our veins and into everything that we do. And then when you breathe out gratitude for the breath that you took, for the life that you have, for the experience and the opportunity to create and shift and flow. And then when you're working throughout your day, you can make sure that you're bringing this flow state into everything, that when you plan your day, even that you say, what would the divine version of myself be doing today? How can I best serve my own self? How can I best serve my family? How can I best serve my community? And how can I best serve, pretty much the universe? Because we are all tools of the universe that were put here for a purpose in this time. And when you make the conscious effort on a daily basis to connect to your higher self and to connect to your divine flow, and you base what you're going to do for that day on that divine flow, then it uplifts everything. So you think, okay, what's the best version of myself doing today? How can I connect with the most divine energy within myself and bring that and manifest that into the world? So we might want to, just to get in the habit of this, really take a moment and close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Make sure you breathe in really, really deep, filling your belly, filling your lungs, filling your whole aura even with light, and consciousness and connection. Because a lot of times, too, we're sitting at our computers, we're listening to the news, we're really disconnected from ourselves. And we can take this time now to focus and to turn our attention inward and rediscover that connection with Source, with the universe, and with our highest self. And we can remember during this time that anything is possible if we set our minds to it. And that's why connecting with your divine self will be so important in this time, because when you connect with your divine self and you connect your actions with your wishes and desires and with universal guidance, then miracles can happen. And you can bring those miracles out into the world. And then you deepen your belief in miracles. And you also share that belief with others. And you can also call in Archangel Michael to protect you and your family, Archangel Raphael to help you to increase your immunity, to remain healthy during this time. And especially Archangel Ariel to help you be centered, grounded, and courageous during this point in time. Because bringing change into the world is going to require some courage from you. And bringing these really beautiful, transformative processes and ideas will also require courage from you. So as you're breathing, relax into the moment. I like to bring my focus right into the center of my body, opening my heart, connecting with my solar plexus, and connecting with my center, and feeling into that center and seeing what I need that day. And when you're really honest with yourself about what you need, then you can nourish yourself. And when you're really honest about what your center is and how you're feeling, then you can do things that are going to shape and change your world. And when you're connected with your center, you don't have to worry so much about the boundaries of your body. You can float into a universal connectedness where your boundaries don't really matter anymore. They kind of flow into the divine. And you become aware that you're a part of the universe, and the universe is a part of you. And when you get into this flow state, feel into it. How does it feel in your body? What are you sensing around you? How does connectedness show itself to you? And when you're in that connected place, make a future vision. Ask for guidance and support. Ask to be shown, what is my mission here? How can I help to change the world? What's required of me? And how can I best serve? And then give yourself a few moments to relax into this vision. Don't grasp too hard. Just allow it to flow into you as divine knowledge, as inspiration, as oneness and connectedness, not only with yourself, but with everything around you. And I'll give you a moment to consider this. Don't forget to breathe. And now I'll ask you to return your awareness to the seat of your soul, in your solar plexus, in your heart, in the core of your body. Feel your connection to spirit and ground into the earth as well. Imagine yourself being a part of both, one and all together. And once you ground this feeling into yourself, you can start to wiggle your fingers and make circles with your wrists and shrug your shoulders and move your feet and your toes and your knees. Twist a little bit and open your eyes and come back. And now you have your divine inspiration and your seed for your future vision and mission. So I hope that helped.
Susan, that was great.
Good, I'm glad I did.
You did say something, and I wrote it down because I think it's critical. You said, don't forget to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for some light workers right now, myself included, we are encouraged to take on so much work in this transformation of where our world is going. And there is a piece of that of take care of yourself. Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah, yeah. And breathing is the number one thing. Like, that is the whole part of this. It's breathing. And like you said, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself as you're figuring out how to help other people and how to work within your calling. Yeah. But yeah, you have to breathe. You have to get up and take a break and, and really get outside. Well, if you can, if you're allowed to get outside. Yeah. But I've also found it helpful. A lot of us can pick up the energy from pictures. So if you look at pictures of deep woods and green forests and things like that, sometimes that's all you need to really get that energy flowing through you. Yeah.
Right. I do know several light workers that are working harder now than they were before all of this started. It's just an interesting time in life for
Yeah.
folks.
Oh, yeah. Did you notice too, like right at the beginning of the year before this happened and at the end of last year, everybody was kind of resettling into, like, they were like, if they had a purpose that they were following, but it didn't feel right, then they were kind of shifting their purpose into more of a service or something that was really much more aligned. But now it's just like almost like a scramble to be in the best position to help the most people um, at one point in time while taking care of ourselves. Because I think all of us know that we can't go back to an overwhelming, only working and not making time for our priorities. And that's a part of the divine flow too, because I think a lot of us were unconsciously holding ourselves back from, because we understood that we weren't honoring our own priorities. And so therefore we were kind of like fish out of water almost, like unable to move forward because we were blocking ourselves.
Well, and I think there was a piece of it as well where we were being prepared in different ways. And what I noticed for me, I was being asked to broaden myself and gain deeper skills, not necessarily new skills, but to broaden the skills that I had, almost as if I was going to move forward and take other people with me. Whereas before, maybe I was working on my own, if you will. So I was seeing a lot of, you're right, I was seeing a lot of light workers, and it was like, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable. I don't know where this is heading, and nor could we have known where this was
Right.
heading. But I truly believe we were all being prepared for this,
Hmm.
whatever this might be becoming. I know we've been prepared for this.
Right. And I think that's why there's been such a flow, or I'm trying to think of the right word, but where so many light workers have just understood what that they are here to make changes in the world, and that they're here to help out and serve. Because I feel like before, before probably in the early 2000s, a lot of people weren't fully like that. Light work just wasn't on their radar at all. They weren't, they weren't called to work with angels, or they might have been working with angels for a little bit and then set it aside. Like myself, I was doing a lot of stuff, and then I just, kind of got focused and busy on, making a home and doing this and that and the other thing. And then when it came back, you know, big, really big.
Really big. I've talked to so many people that 6 or 7 years ago was a really influential time in stepping back into their light work.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, being prepared for this next phase, because the world needs us right now. The world needs this energy, and also this guidance and support, and encouragement as well, because so many of us are just supporting people. So many of us are just giving energy and helping, to kind of raise people up, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just for a moment, help, help the other person along, and then, the next person grabs their hand, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah. And what you're doing is just beautiful, helping other people to find a platform to share their work with a wider audience is wonderful.
Well, thanks, Susan. You do that as well. In your,
Yeah.
yes, you do. We,
Yeah.
yes, you do. Susan, if folks want to learn more about you and what you do, where can they find out about you?
I have my page. It's called Spiritual Business Spotlight, and it is helping to shine a light on up and coming spiritual entrepreneurs and leaders, thought leaders. And I do interviews, and very similar, well, a little bit similar to what you do, but a little bit different to what you do. So it's Spiritual Business Spotlight. And then I have my own site that's Sue Ellis Saller. And it's like Mississippi. It's really, it's SUEELLISSALLER. So lots of double letters there. So
Great. Thank you. Susan, thank you so much for being with us. We love having you with us here at Enlightened World Network. You've been on with us before, and hoping you're going to be on with us again for other things that are coming up. So friends, stay tuned with us. We have someone coming on at 3:15. That's Dr. Lynetta Willis, and she's going to be sharing a relationship evolution meditation. So stay with us, and thank you, Susan. You all take
thank
care.
you, Ruth.